Are we having a party here? I don't know.
Welcome to Polishing Profits. Join our 3 industry experts boasting 140 years of experience as they unlock building service contracting secrets that can revolutionize your business.
Well, here we are again. As they say in Poltergeist, we're back. They said it a little more up.
Guys, where did that come from?
Stuff just comes to me while I'm sitting here trying to make up something to say to the audience. It's just top of mind. We're back.
Well, Sharon, it was either that or the Keystone Cops. So
yeah,
we could use the Stooges. That would be interesting. The Three Stooges.
There you go.
And there's people sitting there listening to us going, "What these people talking about?" Anyway, welcome to Polishing Profits. Here we are once again, construction episode 2. And that's not, we're building the building. It's post-construction cleaning episode 2. And our special subject matter expert is Sharon Cowan, who sits with us all the time. And she's just got a load of experience to share and talk about this stuff. And Ed and I will provide color commentary and interrupt her at the most inopportune times. And then we have to sort that out. So there's always something fun to watch here. Let's put it that way. Sharon, go. Part 2. You're on.
Part 2. The poltergeist. The poltergeist.
Yeah, we're back.
So, we want to start this episode off talking about where you find these jobs. How do you find them? One of the number one sources that's a key for me on anything commercial cleaning related is networking and getting involved in the business groups, joining perhaps a local builders association where you can be a resource for the builders in your area, construction folks. Most cities have a local organization. Sponsoring breakfasts or luncheons. If they have a publication, they put out a directory, perhaps taking out an ad, becoming the go-to source for post-construction cleanup. But again, if you don't get in front of these people, it's not going to happen. It's like anything else. Chamber of Commerce is a good source. All those local groups, Rotary, Exchange Club, whatever, and the builders associations. Also letting...
Sharon,
yes, go ahead.
Is there still Dodge reports? Does that still exist?
I'm not sure if those still are, but that was a good one. Dodge report.
That was a big one.
Local city business journals also. Mm-hmm. Business Journal is a good one. And then when you've done all of those things, and again, this really speaks to your branding. You can list post-construction cleanup on your website, list it on your business card, list it on any advertising that you do, that you specialize or that you do post-construction cleanup. Just good old cold calling, driving around your neighborhoods and seeing what's under construction, what's going on right now. Any construction site will have the general contractor's sign out in front telling you who's doing the building. There are phone numbers, websites. Walk onto the property, walk in. You don't need a hard hat before you get inside, and find out who you contact. Mm-hmm. So besides the networking, the cold calling, those would be the main ways that you would get noticed.
To answer Ed's earlier question, I just Googled it. The Dodge reports do exist. They're still going. And the other construction one, I think, was it the American Journal of Commerce we used to get?
American City Business Journals. It was a weekly.
The Houston, the Puget Sound, the Tampa Business Journals all have post-construction sections. So if you're looking to go, when you want to go a little, let's say you're already doing it and you want to expand your current post-construction cleaning, whether it's a division or area for your business, those are great places if you've already got a little experience or some experience to start looking at those business journals again. And that's just they call them business journals. It's Puget Sound, whatever it is. And yeah, those are all good places to look for leads. And to Sharon's point, you're almost too late if they're breaking ground. You got to look for the sign on the fence or the post that says coming soon, blah, 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 general contractor.
Right.
that's your call.
Right.
Because once they start breaking dirt, they pretty much decided because they've already budgeted.
Well, and they have their budget. So that's why sometimes you get called in to bid off of blueprints, and we're not going to go into depth in that right now, but I can help. There are other sources out there that can help teach you how to read a blueprint. But the blueprint is important for the square footage, for the number of windows, and particularly for the finishes that are going to be used.
Yes.
Is this a Class A building, a B building, a C building? Because depending on those finishes, that's going to determine how much time it's going to take and your risk and liability. I was at a home, it was a custom home on the ocean several years ago. We were asked to bid and did the walkthrough. And of course, it was very high end, probably $500,000 back then, 20 years ago. So in the one bathroom, the guest bathroom, they had double vanities with a beautiful art carved wood vanity and gold plated sinks. They were gold plated. So when I saw that, I made an exclusion in my contract that we would not clean the gold plated sinks. I had nightmares about one of my cleaners putting Comet, and at $38,000 they were. I remember the contractor told me these are really special, and I thought, great, I'm not touching them. So there is that opportunity when you do come to some kind of finish that is really has a high risk and liability to you. You can exclude those, and they just had the plumber, the installer, took care of cleaning them.
That's a great point, Sharon. Reading the finished prints that
right,
state, that tells you what kind of woods, what kind of flooring, that tells you everything about it. The lighting,
right,
if you've got a clean lighting and it's got
all glass.
refractors and all the different
Yeah,
lights, you've got to know what that is and how to read it because they want a price before they
based
get to
on
that
that.
point.
Right, because they're doing their budget. So they'll typically
Yep.
call in 2 or 3 cleaning companies to bid on the project off of the prints. And then they'll work those prices. They may not award that right away, but they will put that in their budget so they're set. And if you're doing it off of prints, depending on the size of the building, it's going to be at least a 2-year project, maybe a year long to 2-year project before you even get in there. So you really have to take into consideration the cost of living and the wages and how they're going to be different between now, before they've broken ground, and what it's going to look like at the time of finish. So you always want to find out what's the expected completion date. And they may not be right on, but you want to find out, is it going to be this year? Can I live with what I'm paying my people now? Or do I need to base this priced on what I'm going to be paying people in 2 years? So that's something. And it's interesting because sometimes when you go to bid on prints, you'll see other cleaning companies there at the same time, kind of like a walkthrough. So
Yeah, we almost used to put a cost adjustment. We put a
yeah,
cost adjustment in annually when our long ones ran, and
yeah,
basically the same COLA, wage rates, things like that. That at least it could be revisited because we were
right,
projecting into the future. So
right,
same deal.
yeah. Especially like too with a housing subdivision that's a 2 to 3 year build out. You're gonna need to do that. I learned the hard way one time by not doing that, and it only took once.
That means you lost money, right?
Yes, I did.
That
Yes,
means
I
you
did.
lost money.
My
Yeah,
first
okay.
flip. And that's how you learn. But what we're trying to do is save you from that. Save you from that. So once you get that opportunity to do a walkthrough, and you're invited, maybe you did a cold call and you're stopping by, and you get an opportunity to walk the building with the supervisor. This is really a key, and it's a little different walkthrough than a regular commercial property. You'll see a lot of open space, and which can be very deceiving because it looks like open space for us typically in regular janitorial cleaning is very quick. You're going to be in and out, you're going to be through there in a second. Not so much with construction cleaning. The floors will have a layer of construction dust. If there are any built-in cabinets or counters, you have to clean inside of all of those. It is very detailed work. Again, 150 square feet an hour. So it's much different than 3,000 to 4,000 square feet an hour. And so you have to really gear yourself down to that level. So you want to do the walkthrough and take notes. Your eyes have to be very sharp, looking for damage to property, gouges in woodwork, um, gouges in baseboards, scratched windows, which are huge. And I replaced a couple of those early on, a couple of sets of French doors early on. But again, it happened to me once, and then I learned from it. You don't you don't put a dry razor blade on a glass trying to get the paint off. It just scratches while you're going. So those are the things you're looking for as you're walking with the superintendent. You're also taking a look to see how the subcontractors, the other tradespeople, how they are leaving their work areas. Okay, particularly if you go late in the day for this walkthrough. If you see Burger King wrappers and coffee cups laying around and other trash laying around where the electricians have been or the plumbers, you'll really get a good idea that are they going to be cleaning that up or are you cleaning that up? And that's a question you can ask the project manager when you're walking through. Who's taking care of all of this? And once you start doing this in your local area, you get to know who the contractors are and how they leave the building. So you'll know ABC plumbers really leave a mess. And if ABC plumbers are on this job, I'm going to have to project extra time because nobody makes them clean up. So I've got to clean up their mess. So you get to know who the players are after a while.
And even though the trades have an agreed cleanup behind themselves, scope of work, so to speak, with the builder, as Sharon's saying, they don't always abide by it. So when you're doing this bidding, you want to make sure that whoever's walking you through what they want you to bid, you want to see what they are requiring the trades to do to leave the room in when they're done.
Right.
And that always gives you, you don't always win, but it always gives you a place to go back when you walk in and it looks like they had a party there overnight and the bathtub's full of god awful stuff and whatever, the sinks. You know, I'm not supposed to clean this up. Here's their responsibility. Have them do it.
Right.
And they go, well, you do it. Well, now you just push the cash register button, double the price, and do it.
Right.
And they just pass it on.
But what I'm told is that the tubs are a lot of fun when the toilets don't work.
Right.
I've got horror stories on those in commercial accounts, but that's R-rated material.
Yeah.
Maybe X. I'm not sure.
Well, and that's really not the only walkthrough you do. That's the initial walkthrough you do to get the pricing, okay, to come up with the pricing. You don't want to clean. You don't want to begin cleaning till you do another walkthrough with that same project manager. And that's when you take pictures and you have a sign-off sheet. 3 windows have big scratches on them. This woodwork has a big gouge in it. This flooring has a big scratch in it. Those kinds of things you have on a list and they sign off on it. Because I guarantee you 100%, you will be blamed for those things if you don't cover yourself in the beginning. Before you touch the first microfiber to a surface, you do that extra walkthrough the day you're starting the cleaning and make note of everything. And your eyes have to be really sharp, especially with glass and windows, because a lot of times you can't see the scratches until the sun is shining on the windows. That's when you see them. So you can take the flashlight of your camera or your phone and look at them closely. But you want to protect yourself at all costs because for whatever reason, cleaning people are blamed for just about everything that goes wrong, any damages that happen. So it's really due diligence in self-preservation for these kinds of jobs. looking at the site again, making sure how the subcontractors are treating the site, and the way we want to back up a little, and the way we approach the project manager when you're cold calling is very similar to other ways that you cold call. You'll leave your card or just say you'd like information. That's one of Ed's strategies for cold calling, that you would like some information about the site. Has the contract for cleaning been awarded? Would love to get an opportunity to put an estimate in on doing this. We'd love to do work for you. And you go from there. And typically they'll take you around, or they'll tell you, no, we've already got somebody. But then you can always do an estimate as a backup in case that person falls through. You can do it. I also, one of the things I did that was pretty effective was I had the signs made with my company name on them, like a real estate for sale sign with the company name, the cleaning company, and stuck those in the ground in front of the project, like all the electricians do and the plumbers do. And I thought, I'm one of the tradespeople too, so I put my sign out there.
Where were you? Where were you when I was doing it? I needed that idea. Where were you 30 years ago? That's a great idea. It never dawned on me in all the sites we were on to do that.
Yeah.
Man, talk about free advertising.
Big boys, I mean, they were.
Yep.
Especially some high-end residential properties, which we have a lot of on the beach. Here I live close to the beach. I don't live in one of them, but we have a lot of those kinds of properties, and the people that already lived there would see your sign. So, I got some play off of current areas, but it's branding, just more branding.
Yep.
So as far as any other questions to ask the project manager, again, completion dates, how much lead time are we going to have before you need us to come? And one of the other things you want to do is that secondary walkthrough that you're doing while you're looking for damages, you really want to use that you want to do that the day before. Let's say they call and they need you on Wednesday to start. And they'll typically only call you on maybe the week before if you're lucky. But a lot of times they'll just call you 2 days before, say, we're going to be ready for you on Wednesday. Say, great, I'm going to come take a look on Tuesday. And then you'll go on Tuesday and you'll find 25 tradespeople there in the midst. They're no more ready for you than the man in the moon. They typically always want the cleaning people in earlier than what they're ready for, because that's a sign to the owner of the property that we're getting close to the end. The cleaning people are here and we're getting close. So they always want you in early. And after I wised up about this, I would tell them a lot of times, we do charge when we have to re-clean something. Okay, so if I come in now, you're not ready for me. I can't get into these restrooms. I can't get into this cafeteria. Can't get into these areas. So I can't get in and get out. It's going to cost you more money because I'm going to have to keep coming back. And then if I can clean it, you still have people working here, and I have to come back and re-clean an area, which is another charge to you. So I had no problem telling them they weren't ready for me. I can get you 6 people, I can get 20 people in here, whatever you need, but we need to be the last person in here, which almost never happened, but you got to be close to the last person in here. The rest of these people have to be just about done, 95% done, and out of our way, that we can do the job for you. You have to take control, and I guess that's what I really want the message to be of this session. You're in control of the cleaning, not them. And you have to take control and be the one who says, no, you're not ready. We'll come, we'll get it done on time. You'll be happy, but this is too soon. You're not ready for us.
And I think going back to episode 1, just to make that point, if you've listened to both episodes, and hopefully if you're interested, you will, this is not managed like a cleaning contract. We told you in episode 1, this is a different industry. And you can see the amount of hands-on that you have to do with whether it's the GC's site manager or whoever's project manager is running it. You do a lot of contact work with them, because even if you look at their project schedule, like Sharon was saying, and they say you can plan on these weeks based on this, that's great till something breaks and the trades are now all 2 and 3 weeks behind, and what goes on. And you also have to constantly inspect areas you're going to be in and control of for damage. That first one sets the bar where it was when you went in, but that's the first snapshot. Those snapshots continue, and not that the trades do anything bad. That's not my point. Things happen. Pipes hit walls. We can go on. And all of a sudden you're there cleaning and you're going, well, this wasn't here before you got it. So you have to manage this. There's a lot more supervision and walkthroughs with your site contact, both to make sure you don't wind up responsible and liable for something you didn't break or do, and that you're there at the right time with the project. And I had to laugh one of Sharon's point. We're ready for you. Here we go. So you go in and clean it all up, and then they do the punch list. And the drywallers come back and sand, and I could go on. The plumber screwed something up, but the punch list they didn't get. And this all creates work for you. And if you haven't been clear in working with people through the project and building a relationship with that project manager, site project supervisor, whoever they are, you're going to have a real hard time defending yourself and getting them to work with you. And controlling these are not like doing cleaning. I think I just wanted to punch that up a little more, because you made some really good points.
Yeah. Well,
we're at 22 minutes.
Tell us about your program.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Post-Construction Cleanup 101 program is about a 90-minute self-running audio-visual course online. It's available on my website, cleaningbusinessconsultinggroup.com. It retails for $397. And for our special listeners, I'm offering it at half price, which is $197. And you go to the site and there will be a code to enter. And that code is P as post, CC, construction cleaning, 24. And that will bring up the $197 price. And then you'll be able to download it right away and listen to it. It's pretty comprehensive. We get into pricing. We get into supplies and equipment. We get into some problem solving, red flags, what to look for, and a lot of other pertinent information that can be really helpful. The goal of that program is to save you from losing a lot of money, which is very possible. That's very possible.
And through all of our contact, I've been through Sharon's program, and it is excellent. And I would say whether you're a startup or you're just a couple, 3-4 years into this, there's tips in there that are going to save you money. And honestly, it's like Ed's bidding book. If it isn't on your shelf, it should be, if nothing more than a reference tool, and go through it. It's a great reminder. And there's some, I hate to call them, but tips and tricks you only lose from losing money in there that will help you be more efficient bidder, running the job and getting more repeat business from other contractors.
I think that's really it. That'll be effective at the close of this podcast today. If they go into the website, and there'll be an opportunity to put the code in.
And the website will be in the comment section, correct?
Yes, I'll put it in there.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I think since I used poltergeist at the beginning, I'll see how well educated our audience, and I will close with this. Good night, Gracie.
Good, Jack.